Hello. I've got rehearsal this morning. I'm off to get coffee. I'm just going to do a quick video because I'll probably do a longer one somewhat later. Because I'm having, I think, a few life changes coming up. I've been in a state of specifically the last few days, but mainly the last few weeks, of I think confusion is really the word. But I've got a pondering that I want to get down. So I was just listening to Alain de Botton from The School of Life. Listening to him on a podcast, talking about creativity. I think in a lot of ways, we look to ideas and theories and people talking and build up a theory of the world and a theory of our vocation, what we want to do. And then we go through periods of building, and then we go through periods of stress testing and even breaking it down, destroying it, and then rebuilding our own one in the rubble of that. And I think I'm currently in a period of breaking everything down and taking the pieces and trying to put them back together. Anyway, so I was listening to Alain de Botton talk about creativity. And I've heard this before, but I think this is where my brain really caught it. A lot of the time when we like art, and this extends to actors as well, we like it because it reflects a mirror back to us and we go, I felt that. I feel that. It's a connection through whatever type of art it is to another person, and we kind of connect and bond over a shared feeling of something. Friendship is the same thing, and I think even with a lot of YouTubers and content creators, you get a lot of that as well. Parasocial relationships, where you find someone that goes, I feel the same way. And that's why these bonds are so strong. Same with music. This makes me feel a certain way that connects me to someone else. This person's created a soundscape that matches the inner workings and the inner map of me. So as a frame, I think that's a complete baseline what an artist needs to do. Or not necessarily that, but there's so many little hidden passageways in that of, well, how do you action that? And I think first off, it means that I think you need to go out and have experiences. I think that you need to go out and feel things, and you need to be able to feel what other people feel. Because I think a lot of artists are quite sheltered people, but because they feel something that lots of other people feel, they kind of blindly, not necessarily blindly, but a lot of time they'll create art without meaning to go out and touch another person, and it'll just happen because the human experience is really something that we all relate to. But I think it means that also with the commodification of art, it shows that us as the viewer really has a strong bullshit detector. Because obviously there's some art that you won't understand not because you don't get it and you don't intellectually understand it, but because you just haven't felt that experience. I think that's when you mean, oh, I don't get art. That's what that means. But then the responsibility and the onus is on the artist to create art for a purpose, rather than for a check, for the bag. And then that extends into, more specifically, to acting. Why I think that blindly looking for work isn't the reliable way of creating. So a lot of the theorem behind how to get a job in the acting industry is to throw yourself at roles, no matter what the role is, and then eventually you'll get it. You'll get one role that'll skyrocket you, and then you can kind of, you've got to go for everything, and then once you get to the top, you will be able to choose what you want. And I think the problem with that is that there's a type in acting. You have a type. People cast you based on your type. But if you try to break down what that type is, it comes down to really to three things: your how you look, your personality, and your essence. And you can't really break that down any more than that, because your essence is you. But if you think about what I've just talked about when it comes to art, it means that your essence has to be in line with the role. Who you are has to be able to be someone that can, look, maybe I'm overthinking this shit, but it has to be someone that can play this role truthfully and well, because if those two things don't align, then how are you supposed to do that? And also, how are you supposed to be completely passionate about something to the point that you really want to be able to bring it to life if your essence or your type doesn't actually link up? And so maybe this is also something that widens out the older you get, but the more work you do, I don't know. Which explains why more actors are able to do more things with the older they get and the more experience they get, but I don't know. This kind of leads me to I've been struggling with a bunch of roles that I've been doing for a play, and look, maybe I'm just fucking whining. I just don't, none of them really passionately have excited me, and I was like, well, I've just got to do them. And I sit down, I try and do the work, and I'm at a point now where it doesn't fucking excite me to do the work. And I think there's a lot of, some people might say, well, you don't have to be excited about it. If you're not excited about it, maybe you should be an actor. And there's all these things that really aren't very helpful. Because I do love acting. I know I do. Maybe it's these roles. Maybe it's just I'm not suited to any of these roles. And then what a weird problem to have. Like what a uncooperative and unhelpful problem to have, because it makes me sound like a passenger princess that is like, well, you should be able to do anything. You should be able to, if you're a good actor, you'll be able to put your arm to anything. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. But maybe it's not the roles at all. Maybe it's the environment. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad day. Maybe it's a bad couple of weeks. I've had a difficult couple of weeks. I've got a lot of other things on my mind. Maybe it's a lot of things. Maybe it's none of these things. Who knows? But that breakdown of creativity was I found that very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go get my coffee and then try and get a grip.